would be a change in practice, if the board wants to do that, or continue with what we're doing and have the administration bring it quarterly or annual, whatever it wants to be, or just let the administration handle it on an as-needed basis to reconcile. Look, that's something that we have to decide as to whether we want to change the practice. One school of thought is that it keeps the board in tune by having it brought to us. Or we could ratify the action of the administrator. Or we could recommend we ratify the action of the administrator. So that there's a combination of things that we could do. And maybe we should express those feelings to the administrator now, so that when he brings the proposal in, or he can give us a couple of choices. Yeah, Mr. Murphy.
I'll speak to the ratification. But if we're going to bring this back, could I ask for the chair that we get, these have averages. I'd like to see the highs, and
Sure.
An average doesn't mean anything to me, I'm sorry. I'd like to see sort of the dispersion of the data. So I'd like to see a little more of the data. I think it seems, I mean, it incents ComStar to collect as much as possible, because that's how they maximize their revenue, thereby maximizing our revenue. And I'd just like to see a little more numbers to that effect. And I could talk offline with anyone if they want to know specifically what I'm looking for. But then, what's the length of the would we be signing a contract? Is that, or is this a pay-as-you-go?
It's a pay-as-you-go. It's not.
Okay, so there's no contract term here. Okay, and then now to the issue. I mean, I would think if we got a monthly report and we could ratify the actions of the town administrator, that would suffice for me, as long as we've given him a set of policy guidelines to go by. I don't think we have to necessarily, that would expedite the process of the abatement, put a check and balance in place, and it would be reviewing it monthly, but he could abate them monthly, and from a reconciliation perspective, maintain books and balances that make sense and that are timely. So again, I think we need to give him a set of policy guidelines to go by.
But we're not talking an awful lot of money either, but I want to come right down to Mr. Roper.
Right, no, I understand
we had an
that.
awful lot of receivables and we really didn't.
No, and I understand that as well.
So it's,
And if we find monthly is too much, quarterly. But that'd be my feeling. I don't need to.
Mr. Roper.
I think I agree, except my question would be, when you ratify, when you say ratify, is that going to be, he's going to do it and then we're going to approve it after the fact, or is it going to come before us with his suggestions to abate these particular bills?
When I say a ratification, it's an after the fact.
Okay, well, I would rather not do that, because if we're going to do that, then we might as well just have them abate them. I would rather have them come in with his suggestions that these particular ones be abated, and then we approve it or disapprove it.
Yeah, the only what the ratification after is it's a checks and balances as to what's occurred, and if we see that
Take the authority.
yeah, we could take the authority back. We just say, listen, we'd like to set some more stringent parameters for you to operate under, for whatever reason, or open it up a little bit more. It shows us what's transpired, and we're just going to ratify the action. And if we don't like it, so he's still reporting to us on a regular basis. If we don't like what we're seeing, then we change it.
I'd rather, well, like I say, I would rather do it the other way. I'd rather have it, he comes in with his suggestions and we either approve it or disapprove it. But it not be done until such time as we either approve or disapprove.
Okay. Mr.
So,
Muldoon?
and my opinion would be to give Mr. Younger the leeway he needs to make a timely abatement of the whatever he needs to, and that we would ratify it afterwards.
Okay. In the meantime, we'll talk to Mr. Vino also, or Tom, if you could
Sure.
try and touch base when he comes back, just to get a feeling, and then you can weigh in on, you can give us, two proposals to look at,
Sure.
and then the next meeting we'll do something with it. Right. But I really think we should incorporate with ComStar the bid for those people who got a ride in the ambulance who wouldn't necessarily have to pay anymore, and would not necessarily have the ability to pay, to, again, relieve that burden from them early on and let them know that if they have a secondary, please submit it to them and let us know. If not, contact you.
Perhaps I'll see if a representative from ComStat is available to come to a subsequent meeting to address some of these issues that they deal with on a daily basis. So any other questions that may come up that night, that person can answer right then and there.
If they could be available for the next one, that would be good if you could check with them.
That, no problem.
And just make them aware as to what concerns and questions might be. That'd be great. Right, very good. Got old new business. Mr. Rowe.
I noticed we have a thing here, the northeast pipelines, are they still sticking to the same route?
The route is still their recommended route. They haven't approved, FERC hasn't approved, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has approved a route, but their route that they had recommended is still, still on the books.
There have been some letters of opposition filed and so on and so forth from various communities and groups and things of that nature, but they haven't felt as though they need to alter their plan as of yet.
No. The letters, when you are seeing them in your, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, the letters that you may see in your correspondence, and we're on the list that we receive all of them, some of them is for the general whole concept of the entire route, not specifically the part that involved North Reading. So we end up getting the letters for every portion of the route.
Mr. Rowe?
Conservation Commission, are you going to discuss that in your report?
Yes, I can give the verbal.
Okay.
Or I can do that right now if that's.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, fine. As the board is aware, and I apologize because I don't recall if Mr. Murphy and I don't think Mr. Murphy and Mr. Muldoon were on the board when they received Mr. Chairman Weiss's letter of May 8th. I did a lot of research in reviewing the Conservation Commission Chairman's claim of improprieties by the Board of Health regarding the 75-foot setback variance issue. I could not find anything that you could say was an impropriety with the Board of Health. I discussed this with Mr. Weiss. Mr. Weiss gave me 3 projects to look at. In 2 of those cases, the Conservation Commission told those product developers they had to go to the Board of Health for a variance. And I wasn't able to receive anything else additional that would have shown that there was improprieties. In the letter from Mr. Weiss on May 8th, the board received a copy of, he regretted the use of the word impropriety, felt it was improper, shouldn't have used that word. Since then, I have met with the Board of Health in its entirety, and they agreed that they want to send any systems that they receive system applications in to the Conservation Commission to review regarding wetland delineation before they take any action regarding such. And they're willing to work together on this. But as far as improprieties, I will put it in writing. I could not find anything that would show such. And also in the letter you received from Chairman Weiss, he also states the word impropriety should not have been used in that public discussion.
Mr. Rowe?
Well, I think that, and we've talked about it, and I think that the Conservation Commission or Mr. Weiss owes the Board of Health an apology. And I received a copy of the letter from, I don't have it with me, from the chairman of the Board of Health, who requested an apology from them. And I feel that they should do that. That term was used in a public meeting. It was directed at the Board of Health, and I feel they deserve an apology for it. And as far as what you're saying, there was absolutely no improprieties of any sort. And I think it was a great injustice done to that board.
I think again, you and Mr. Murphy weren't privy to the actions and the conversations previous board was engaged in here, and I think the general consensus of the board at the time was that it was a strong word, misused and misplaced, and again, the tremendous disservice again to the members of the Board of Health at the time, particularly after the town administrator looked into the issues, whatever issues there were, and again, the Conservation Commission, Board of Health, any board commission, they're all volunteers around here and put in a tremendous amount of effort and time. And if people are going to be making such strong statements, they should have well-based in fact and well-grounded, and these were not. Common courtesy would dictate an apology, but you can't dictate that to individuals on boards if they don't wish to exercise it. But I too think if someone's been wronged, they should be apologized to. But I appreciate the town administrator's efforts in looking into it and getting the issue brought out and resolved, and also certainly enhancing the communication level between the two boards, because they do have to work hand in hand, have to work together with a lot of the applicants as far as septic systems and design plans. And the more communication, the more smooth the process goes, not only for inside town hall, but for the applicants, whether it be a resident homeowner who's here already or a developer who's looking to develop a undeveloped piece of land. So, that's it. Anything else, Mr. Rowley?
On the letter of resignation from Marcy Bailey, are we going to fill that position? Is that a joint?
That will be joint. That will be joint, but it'd be up to the school committee to determine what building committees are needed at this particular time. Now, having a neutral gentleman would be far more informative than I as far as the process goes. You served on the school building committee, you're associate member of the school building committee. But any appointments to those committees, as far as full membership, would come from a joint appointment. Again, we did get the approval of the design plans for the middle and the high school, so that would start the ball rolling for those two committees to be formed. Would not necessarily be the same
Isn't
committee.
the school building committee, isn't that an ongoing committee until such time as the school building needs are met?
I think we had one for the Hood School, we had one for the Little School. But Mr. Murphy, I would defer to the former chair of the school building
We
committee.
call it the school building committee, but that charge of the existing school building committee is elementary school building projects. So the middle and the high school would be, I'm assuming they're going to be, I believe, two separate committees. So there'll be a middle school committee and a high school committee.
But
And the elementary school building committee, which is what Marcy was on, is still, they're finishing the last pieces of the Hood project, and then there's some kind of issue.
That's what I say, so is that position, are they going to fill that? Are we going to fill that? That's,
I would
I would
assume
expect so. I
so.
would assume so. We just got it's effective June 1st, I believe.
right.
I would assume so. The school committee, I think, appointed a new liaison because Maureen Parker's stepped down,
Right.
or will be stepping down. But I can't recall who took that. Steve Van Beetle took that one.
It's,
Mr. Meldo.
the new chairman of the elementary school building committee is Jonathan DeSimone. And I believe it was part of the warrant in April for the schematics that aren't positive, but I think it created a secondary school building committee. It's part of that warrant. So it is a separate school building committee from the elementary school building committee.
So one for the middle school, one for the high school. Again, the undertaking of those projects is going to be significant magnitude also, so that for one committee to handle it all is, and you gentlemen know it firsthand, would be.
Well, the middle school and the high school, that's not a joint appointment, is it?
Yes, there will be.
It is, it will be,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So then we will have two new committees totally.
Plus an
and then the
elementary.
vacancy on the grammar school.
Right.
I believe it's two, but it could be one. Could be one
It
that
could be one
splits its